Vamos agora para a próxima palestra. O tema é Hub Transformacional do Hidrogênio Verde no Panamá. Palestrante é a senhora Rosilena Lindo, ela é subsecretária de Energia da Secretaria Nacional de Energia do Panamá. Seja muito bem-vinda, senhora Rosilena.
Eu vou ver se eu consigo compartilhar a minha tela e espero que todos vocês consigam enxergar a minha tela. Eu vou tentar colocar em tela cheia, né, em apresentação. É um enorme prazer poder contar um pouquinho para vocês o que o Panamá está fazendo em relação à implementação do nosso hub de hidrogênio verde. A ideia é aumentar o nosso posicionamento em relação ao nosso posicionamento no canal do Panamá. Então, por isso que essa iniciativa é o Hub de Hidrogênio Verde de Panamá. Para estar em conformidade com o que podemos ver aqui, em novembro de 2020, o Panamá aprovou a sua agenda de transição energética, e essa agenda procura descarbonizar a nossa matriz energética, levando em consideração que nós queremos produzir 16 milhões de toneladas de CO2, mas não apenas descarbonizando a nossa matriz. Nós precisamos ver como assegurar que nós estamos atingindo os objetivos de desenvolvimento sustentável em conformidade com as nossas necessidades para ter um acesso universal a este hub. E é por isso que estamos trabalhando com diferentes estratégias nacionais, com o melhor uso dessa energia e mobilidade elétrica.
Of our distributed generation strategy, looking forward to include innovation and modernization in our electricity grid. But when we are talking about energy transition, we have to acknowledge that we are talking also about the measures, the policies, the activities that we are going to implement in the hydrocarbon sector. And that's why we developed two specific strategies for that. And one of them is positioning Panama as a sustainable energy hub. And inside of this sustainable energy hub strategy that Panama is developing is located this goal that you see here. We want not only to position Panama as a sustainable energy hub, we want to position Panama, we already have set the goal and it's approved, to pursue become the global green hydrogen route due to excellence in the construction of a wide variety of policy instruments, of the regulatory framework, and the promotion of investment in infrastructure, production of green hydrogen and its derivatives, together with the logistics services to really offer and account the low greenhouse gas emissions as we want to have in the circular economy of the green hydrogen market. Having said that, we developed this roadmap with 9 objectives. And the first of them is to develop the regulatory framework for the promotion and investment for the implementation of the green hydrogen and derivatives production here in Panama. And not only green hydrogen, we want to take this in another level, considering that Panama is in the center, in the heart of America, that we have a very strong Latin American region, and we want to put our position to disposition of the other countries that are working also implementing and producing green hydrogen to be used not only as a domestic alternative energy carrier, but also the countries that are thinking about exporting it passing through the Panama Canal. And for that, this roadmap includes the definition of the coordination instances to make that correctly, including not only the educational sector, not only the private sector, the public sector, but enhancing the participation of women and youth in the process. We want to promote the dialogue with the different industry players, and also to assure that the new regulations and the adjustment of the current regulations are going to be happening in time in order to assure that Panama puts a flag in the green hydrogen market. While doing so, also working together hand by hand with the Latin American and the Caribbean countries to identify cooperation mechanisms to assure the implementation of this green hydrogen transformational hub, having also in consideration that we have to enable the best conditions for investment, the best conditions to assure that our position is going to reduce the prices, the cost of transport for green hydrogen and the derivatives. But also evaluating what are the needs of new infrastructure or transforming the current infrastructure to storage this type of carrier, also including in the agenda how we are going to foment research, education, and technology development for that, analyzing what is happening in the green hydrogen arena worldwide. As you know, every day that you or I or everybody that is a green hydrogen lover opens the news, something new happened while we were sleeping. So we want to assure that our policy framework is also flexible enough to take advantage of the disruption of technology that is happening right now, including piloting projects for the domestic use and also for the working on the maritime sector and in the aviation sector. And taking that into consideration, we develop elements that have to be part of the roadmap. But to do so, at the beginning of the creation of the roadmap, we start evaluating and thinking, the Panama Canal has a lot of clients and current clients that right now are using the Panama Canal to transport fuels. And as the world is looking toward to a full decarbonization in 2050, we wanted to measure the impact of that in the main economy activity of our country. And the 29% of the total cargo that pass through the Panama Canal are fuels. So in that way, we evaluate how are the users of the Panama Canal considering the production or the use of green hydrogen in their policies. We make that evaluation and we estimate the different routes that have to be used in order to meet the offer passing through the Panama Canal. And from that analysis, our first estimation is that for 2030, the possible amount of green hydrogen that will pass through the Panama Canal are around 81 million tons of green hydrogen, and for 2050, maybe depending of the scenario, that could grow up to 190 million tons of green hydrogen. And that's interesting for us in order to include in the promotion, also the creation of different incentives to pass through the Panama Canal. But as we are right now in a roadmap status, this year we are preparing the launchment of our national green hydrogen strategy, but working with these two elements that you see here in order to assure advocating correctly in the creation of the strategy. We have right now on place two committees. The first committee is the high-level committee on green hydrogen, And the second one is the Green Hydrogen Technical Committee, where all the analysis of the different economic numbers and the technical changes that we have to do to the law and to promote investment are going to be happening right here in the technical committee. And this committee is reporting to the high-level committee in order to have their guidance in how to continue moving forward to present the strategy at the end of this year. And here you can see which are the members, the officials members of these committees. In the high-level committee, mainly the ministers and executive directors of companies and public institutions are members of that. And the same ones, both in the technical level, are the ones that are members of the technical committee. But having in consideration that we want to create policy in an inclusive manner, we open the technical committee to anybody and anywhere that wants to participate with us in the creation of the national green hydrogen strategy. Having said that, here you can see more or less how we envision the Panama Hub to look like. Here you see that everything is going to be around the main center of our country. We are hoping to have a transformational green hydrogen plant in the country, not only to produce green hydrogen, but also to transfer that to e-ammonia, e-kerosene, e-methanol. We want to have here special places, as you see here, the more greener dots are right now the current tax-free fuel zones that are going to be expanded to become the green hydrogen free zones in order to assure a space where this type of carrier can be not only a storage after re-export somewhere else or reuse within the Panama Canal. And one of the things that I really love from the elements of the roadmap is that right now in Panama, yearly, the amount of fuels that we sell to the ships and vessels that pass through the Panama Canal is higher than the amount of fuels that we use for domestic purposes. So one of the things that we are preparing with this roadmap is to have a bunkering space, a green hydrogen bunkering opportunity here that we call green bunkering, in order to support the maritime sector for their decarbonization endeavors as well. We are evaluating what are the type of investments that we have to take into consideration in the ports, but also decarbonize the activities that are currently being performed in our ports to assure that when the green hydrogen is transported through the Panama Canal, any service that will be offered to those ships and vessels are going to be neutral. We want to assure that the total supply chain of green hydrogen have to reduce the amount of carbon that is going to be emitted in that way. We are also considering different pilots around this area to use it for the heavy-duty vehicles and buses. And also, it's important to know that in the same area, we are preparing the creation of a center, energy transition center, focusing on the technology development and research for green hydrogen. And yes, during the next months, we are going to develop, we already started, I have to say, with the feasibility study for the establishment of a green hydrogen plants and productions of e-ammonia, e-methanol, and e-kerosene. And we are going to do that with public resources in order to provide that information to any investors that want to be part of the elements of the green hydrogen transformational hub in the country. And also, as I told you before, at the end of the year, we are going to launch the final strategy, having already evaluated the economy and the specific amount of the investment that is required for that. We are working right now in the new regulatory framework to promote the free zones, but also to update the security regulation for the production and transport of green hydrogen, as also we are working in the inclusion of green hydrogen in a specific energy law for all the activities that are going to be performed to have the hub are also receiving the same incentive that the renewable energy activities are receiving in the country. And an additional work that we have to do on the legal framework that we are already starting with the draft is the level of incentive that we are going to promote to the ports that are reducing their carbon footprint. And we are working this hand by hand with the Ministry of Environment. And as you know, we have to assure that green is green. So right now we are evaluating which of the different national regulation have to achieve in order to adapt the international standards for green hydrogen technologies, as you see here, to include it in, yes, thank you. Thank you very much. I have 5 minutes, so I can achieve that. So after doing the certificate process, we are working on the establishment of the green bunkering with green hydrogen and e-ammonia. We are also working in the establishment of the feasibility study for a green hydrogen pipeline. And also, as you see here, we are also implementing different activities for the creation of awareness, education with the different national universities in Panama, supporting and facilitating the implementation of a dispatch center for green hydrogen in our locations. And green hydrogen won't be only used within our territory, but also we are promoting to have a synthetic fuel for aircraft and for residential and commercial purposes, including also the use of it in the industrial sector and in the agricultural sector. Here, this presentation, you will have it also later on what we are doing. Right now, we are working in all these activities in order to assure that we comply with the strategy that have to be finished this year, including the measuring of the level of investment that the country needs to be done for adaptive infrastructure. We are working also with UNDP, also working with UNEP and Euroclima to evaluate how we are going to transform the transport situation in Panama to use heavy-duty vehicles that work with fuel cells with hydrogen. We are also working in the creation of an energy terminal in Panama, and this is like virtual hydrogen pipeline to have the first mix of energy carriers from the America and from Panama to expand the business to a regional distribution hub. Looking forward to create an energy metaverse where we can offer and measure every single CO2 ton that is used in the creation and transport of green hydrogen and its derivatives. And also, we are right now working with the IDB in the creation of a energy transition fund that have a window for green hydrogen in order to assure that the investment meets the financial needs, as well as we are working with BESIA in order to implement a pilot project in Panama for green hydrogen. We are working hand by hand also with different stakeholders in order to promote the high-level sensitization process to assure that the local investors in Panama have the information required to make their decision. We are working in the development of different memorandums of understanding with the technology providers, with the local producers and distributors of current gasoline and diesel to shift to the production of green hydrogen. And thank you very much. We are ready. If you have any question or information, let me know.
Hi, Rosilena. Nice to see you here. And I think it would be great to the public here to know if you are foreseeing any cooperation with Brazil, especially with Ceará and the port of Pecém. I know you would like to be here with us today and talk about it, but maybe you can also say some words related to potential cooperation with Brazil and other Latin American countries. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Monica, for the question. And for sure, yes, I cannot make more emphasis on the need to work together with different Latin American countries, but with Ceará and also with Brazil, having you all that experience and how you have moved forward the transformed port, your current port. We see a great opportunity here to work with the Panamanian ports, mainly with Panama Port and also with the Panama Canal, in order to make an agreement to assure, and that's why I didn't include that in the presentation, but to assure Panama to become the best route for green hydrogen. We are working with the Panama Canal in order to have a specific measures to facilitate and promote that the places that use the Panama Canal have a better tariff and a better incentive to pass faster through the Panama Canal. So having said that, for us, it's a great opportunity to see here how to assure that your facilities meet our facilities to create an environment that not only transport green hydrogen faster, but also transport green hydrogen and the derivatives with lower prices, assuring that maybe to meet the full decarbonization in 2050 can be faster than we expected.
Thank you. Thank you very much.